Good morning and welcome. My name is Kathy Wolf-Lohr, and I'm currently serving as the chair of the Olathe Chamber of Commerce Business to Government Advocacy Committee. It is my honor to moderate today's forum for the Olathe City Council Ward 4 position. On behalf of the Olathe Chamber and the Johnson County Public Policy Council, thank you for joining us today. The Johnson County Public Policy Council, comprised of the 10 chambers of commerce serving Johnson County and the greater KC area of commerce, developed today's questions focusing on businesses and community issues. Also, thank you for the candidates for your willingness to serve. It takes courage and commitment to put your name on a ballot, and you have our gratitude. We will start with a brief 3-minute opening statements by each candidate, followed by Q&A. For candidates, we'll have 1.5 minutes to answer the question. At the conclusion of the forum, each candidate will then have 2 minutes to make a closing statement. Due to time constraints, there'll be no follow-up questions, formal rebuttal time, or audience participation. Please note the candidate speaking order has been randomly determined before the forum began and will rotate throughout the program. So now I'd like to introduce the candidates in alphabetical order and ask them to give a brief 3-minute opening statement, providing background on themselves and why you're qualified for this position. Candidate number 1 is Kevin Deneault. Kevin, the floor is yours.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Deneault. Thank you for being here. I know this is during the day and you had to take a little bit of time out of the middle of your work day. I also want to mention how important municipal elections are to all of us. They have possibly the biggest impact to our daily lives. So if you haven't, speak to your friends and family. Make sure to get them encouraged to get out there and vote. So I was born and raised in Salina, Kansas. My father worked for the city, and my mother was an oncology nurse. Around the dinner table, our conversations were constantly about what things were going on in the city or what the latest was on my mother's patients. They taught me empathy and how to be a good steward to ourselves, other people. That's something that I try to teach my kids today. For example, we always clear the snow for our neighbors every winter, and afterward, go in and have hot chocolate. So after graduating, I moved away from Salina looking for opportunity. I landed in Olathe, where I've now been nearly 20 years. I made friends, built a business here. I married my wife, started a family, bought a house, bought another house after that. In Olathe, I found more than opportunity here. I found a community. As I look around Olathe, I see a place where I built my life. And like many of you, I see the good in Olathe. The schools, the safe streets, the overall quality of life in Olathe is undeniably good. But it's changing and growing. It's important to me that we preserve our quality of life while knowing we need to plan for the future. I represent new, fresh perspectives on key issues. I surveyed voters and was happy to see their concerns and priorities match mine. 1, support local businesses. 2, improving our roads and sidewalks. And 3, attainable housing for people in all stages of life. When I think about my kids graduating, I want, in the not too distant future, I want them to be able to not feel boxed in or locked out. I want them to have the same opportunity I had. To find housing, start a career, make friends. They deserve to have that choice, just like you deserve choice at the ballot box. That's why I'm running for city council. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Marge?
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the Johnson County Policy Council for hosting today's forum. Why am I seeking re-election? If you came to Marge and said, give me 2 words why you are seeking re-election, I would say, I care. And I think my opponent would say the same thing, no doubt about it. I do want to share a little bit about myself and the attributes that I have, the experiences in my life that have led me to care about my community, about my neighbor. I am a resident of Olathe for over 30 years. My husband and I were military families. So we traveled for over 20 years and maybe changing our address every 2 to 3 years. And when you do that, one family moves out and you move in. And you have to pull up your bootstraps and you become a leader within that community. You help support those people whose families are usually in distance from where they're located. So that parallels pretty well to what is expected here as a council member. It's about leadership. It's about serving. So yeah, I have 2 children, a son and daughter-in-law who live here in Olathe with their 2 children, and another son and daughter-in-law who are at Wright-Patterson. They're both in the Air Force. So you can see we kind of support our communities in various ways. Again, that military background helps set up some of those things for just leadership and supporting community. My day job, I'm a registered nurse. I am a nurse practitioner. And again, there's some parallels there between what I do in my profession and what I do on the council. In my profession, I am concerned about the wellness of my patients. As a council member, I am concerned about the wellness of our community. During my tenure on the city council, no doubt Olathe has made great strides in improving the quality of life in Olathe. And it doesn't occur by happenstance. It takes visioning. It takes listening to your constituents, responding, then collaborating, and then putting all of that into action. I think it becomes really important now as our city manager of 27 years is going to retire. It means that we need to have experience and continuity in the council, which will be essential to sustaining the momentum, key initiatives, and building on the progress that we've already achieved. Thank you.
Thank you both for giving us some background on why you're running. We will now move into our question and answer period. And as a reminder, each candidate will have 1.5 minutes to respond, and the speaking order will rotate with each question. So this time we'll start with Marge. As a candidate, what are your top 3 priority issues? Policy issues, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So my first policy issue is related to budgetary constraints and restraints. And I think you're going to hear me talk a lot about the budget and our needs within the community and how we make that all come together. Our citizens are used to receiving exceptional services, exceptional public facilities, and good infrastructure. And they want us to do that while maintaining the mill levy or lowering the mill levy. I'm happy to say that during my tenure, we have lowered the mill levy, and in 2004, we lowered it by 1 mill. So I think every effort needs to be made to remain revenue neutral or lowering the mill levy without compromising safety and excellence in services. The second policy issue would be related to addressing housing affordability. And currently, the council has put in some policies that will help by pre-approved master plans, tax incentives, and discounting permit fees. Finally, supporting quality development, because that's what brings jobs and also helps to support our tax base. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin, your thoughts?
So in my survey, I mentioned 3 top priorities. Support small business is the first one. Olathe is a great place to live and should be a great place to own a business too. If we're going to attract people to live here and start a business, we should prioritize them. That's why I would like to cut some of the red tape, lower some of the fees, and attract small, locally owned businesses. Another priority is increasing attainable housing that for people in all stages of life. I moved here for opportunity. That opportunity is harder to access now. Mm-hmm. My kids might have to move away. I would not like that to be their only option. Olathe has approved rezoning and development plans for multifamily and mixed-use projects, but I think that there is more that can be done. Graduates, young families, first-time home buyers, seniors looking to downsize, they deserve an opportunity to stay here where they have a community. It's no secret, Olathe offers value unlike our neighbors when it comes to housing and schools and services. Let's not just keep that true, let's do better. And then third, improve and maintain our roads and sidewalks. It's consistently a top priority. It's what connects our residents together. You know, keeping our friends, family, and business connected is important to thriving and leads to happier, healthier residents.
Okay. Thank you so much. The next question will go to Kevin first, and it is, what are your views on the value Olathe citizens receive for their local tax dollar?
So, I've knocked a lot of doors. I sent a survey, and I've found more than half of people say they receive good value for their tax dollars. But everyone is aware of the rising prices. So we need to constantly reevaluate our residents' needs to make sure we're maximizing value and ensuring residents thrive at the same time. Olathe, I've said this, Olathe is unique in the value that residents receive compared to our neighbors. We need to guard and preserve that. It's one of the factors that attracts people to Olathe. It's why my wife and I chose to move here. Schools, housing, all of it. We need to preserve that.
Thank you, Marge.
Thank you. What is truly important is what citizens think about their tax dollars and the value that they get for their tax dollars. And our direction finders, which the council, since I've been on the council, has produced a survey for our citizens. It's called Direction Finders. And it consistently finds that over 70% of our citizens are satisfied or very satisfied with the value that they're receiving for their city dollars. And it is way above the national average of 33%. So I think we're doing a good job, but that doesn't mean we rest on our laurels. We need to continue to seek citizen input to ensure that we stay in touch to what the citizens want, need, and how we can put that into our budget and respond to that. I think it's really interesting. It's amazing when you think about it. For about 90, let's see, in 2025, $90.38 per month based on a home that was valued at about $440,000 provided all the services for the city. I sometimes talk to people who are paying HOAs that are that high, and they're not receiving top police and fire and fixing their sidewalks and their streets. So what I'm hearing is good value for their tax dollars, but we need to always be aware of citizen input and stay in touch with their needs. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question will go back to Marge. And what changes, if any, would you propose to the city budget?
Yeah, well, I can tell you that each year the city budget gets more and more difficult to put together. And it has become more difficult this year because of inflation, because of uncertainty of the economy. But with this year's budget, there were positions that were being filled. There were millions of dollars being cut. But we need to continue to look for increasing ways to decrease the city budget. And one of them is looking at more efficiencies, use of AI, refining processes, elimination of duplicity of commodities from department to department, elimination of budget items that are no longer valid or useful, and also the importance of economic development being brought into our community, because that is what helps to pay for property taxes and supports the general fund. We just hired, again, a new internal auditor, and I'm working with the internal auditor as well as our director of finances to see what are we going to do in 2027. How can we decrease the mill levy? So again, we understand what citizens are requesting. We're working on it. It's not easy. Thank you.
Okay, Kevin, same question to you.
My survey really mirrors what the city's survey said, where taxes people believe are about right. In fact, some people said they're a bit low. I see that a little over 70% of the budget goes to public safety. Public safety is also something voters tell me they value greatly, and I would not want to take anything away from that. My neighbor, who is retired, says she's very thankful that she feels safe going for walks in her neighborhood. I'm thankful I feel safe my kids walking to school every day. I want to preserve that for our residents. Again, most people do think they feel they get good value. Raising taxes, though, should be tied to a return on investment for all taxpayers and support of our residents. We can better prioritize support for small businesses, attainable housing, and improved infrastructure within our current budget. If Olathe is going to remain a competitive choice for people considering to move to this area, we should preserve what is great and prioritize supporting residents more in the future. I think that's how we're going to attract and retain great people. Thank you.
Okay, the next question will start with Kevin. Over the past 20 years, the city of Olathe's development has outpaced other Johnson County communities. How would you help continue high-quality growth in Olathe, and what role, if any, do you believe the city should play in economic development to bring jobs and capital investment to Olathe?
So it's near and dear. So high-quality growth comes from balance. We should partner with private sector to bring jobs and investment, but we should also ensure that growth benefits our residents. Sometimes we hear the contrary. We should streamline processes, I think, for small locally owned businesses. That keeps our dollars in our community. We should be intentional with our infrastructure so that it supports new development in a way that enhances our daily lives and doesn't detract. We should encourage or incentivize more attainable housing options so that our teachers, firefighters, police can all afford to live here as well as work here. Thank you.
Marge.
Thank you. So, obviously, it was a good segue from, the city budget to the role of the city in economic development. Economic development is critical. It's crucial for the growth and sustainability of a city. It's essential in order to provide good-paying jobs and decrease the burden of property taxes to the homeowner. And it also supports the infrastructure development and contributes to our quality of life. Sometimes people don't realize when we bring in businesses, especially some of our larger ones, that they're building streets, they're putting in turn lanes, they're putting up signalization. That is what is building our city. Incentivizing development to include things that we need to look at in terms of housing to provide or affordable housing is how we attract quality development and how we can target specific businesses that will pay good paying jobs and significant property tax revenues. when I came on the council, we were looking, hey, let's strive for property tax 70% from residents, 30% from our businesses. We're close to 60-40 now, and we'll be changing that ratio again. Again, helping to support our community. Thanks.
For our next question, we'll start again with Marge. As the city considers future development and redevelopment projects, describe your views on how the city should best manage and balance growth.
Well, first of all, I think that when we plan for Olathe's future, we need to do it in a way that reflects community values and how we manage that growth and support economic development for long-term sustainability. This involves the community coming together to share what those values are. And the tool that we use is the comprehensive plan. And currently, I am a member of the Elevate Olathe Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee. It's a long name. But that brings together working with citizens, with business owners, schools, developers, HOAs, faith leaders, all the stakeholders needed to shape the vision for our community for the next 10, 15 years. So we are updating that tool. And this plan is so very important because it will guide the city council in developing the policies that turn vision into action and ensuring the quality of life that continues to improve for all of our residents as they expect. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
We should listen to residents and plan with intention. Olathe's growth has been impressive and fast, and I think that makes it harder for neighborhoods to adapt organically, leading to imperfections in traffic flow and amenity deserts, etc. We can do more to guide the character of our city with smart design and thoughtful projects that include things like neighborhood shops or restaurants with entertainment. And so we need to be cognizant that we're developing an area that best enhances the lives of our residents and surrounding businesses. Our infrastructure should promote those sorts of developments appropriately and not just zip people back and forth between big box stores. High quality, balanced growth is a partnership between city, its residents, and the developers. Thank you.
Okay. The next question will start with Kevin. What is your philosophy on the role the city should play in terms of metro area issues?
If we're going to benefit from being part of the metro, we should absolutely be at the table discussing and helping with metro area issues, from transportation to housing and commerce. Our focus should be Olathe residents, and that means maintaining good working partnerships with our neighbors. Our priority is our residents, but that doesn't mean we exclude our neighbors. We're all in this together.
Marge?
Thank you. So, regionalism is essential. It enables a collective approach to challenges that cross city boundaries. Many of you may be aware that I was the chair for Mid-America Regional Council, which brings together the metro counties and cities to work together on safety plans, to work together on the infrastructure that doesn't stop at the boundaries of Olathe, but go into the other cities. So it's critically important. So I'm a major fan of regionalism. It allows for more efficient use of resources, leading to stronger results and lower costs for services within a region. In the case of economic development, by forming integrative blocks, regions can then be competitive on the global market. So, again, we have to play nice with our neighbors. We have to work. We benefit when we talk about, hey, we're in the Kansas City area, people think about the Kansas City Chiefs. They happen to be in Missouri for now. But we know we all benefit. When something good happens in the Kansas City area, we benefit. Something not so good happens, that can influence. So we need to work together to have a better regional area. Thank you.
Well, the next question is, do you believe the city of Olathe is currently on the right track? And we'll go right back to you, Marge.
Thank you. Well, being on the city council, I guess I should say, I think we're on the right track. I do think that we are on the right track. However, that doesn't mean there aren't other avenues that shouldn't be considered in another way. I think we need to be flexible. We need to be agile to opportunities and new ideas, innovation, and technology. I think you can see that with some of the accomplishments that have recently occurred, we recognize our citizens' desire to have a sense of community. It's taken years, but it does. To have a vibrant downtown. We will have 4 new restaurants down here, and you can come down here at least once or twice a month and have some type of event or activity. In regard to infrastructure, we are spending over $300 million connecting the east and the west with the Woodland to 119th. We're working on I-35 in Santa Fe. We've approved complete streets so that when we repair streets using our street maintenance tax, we're also looking at pedestrians, cyclists, the whole street as a part of how we move people across town.
Kevin?
Olathe is thriving, and past leadership deserves credit. So yes, but when I think about the next 10, 20, 30 years, I think we have an opportunity to do some amazing things for Olathe and its residents. Staying on track means making sure we don't get stuck in any past thinking. Our strengths are our foundation. Let's build on top of that and adapt when we need to. Residents are clear about their priorities: better roads and sidewalks, more attainable housing, and support for local small business. So I want to build on what's working, listen to our stakeholders, and bring a fresh perspective to make Olathe even better for us and our children.
For the next question, we'll start with Kevin. What do you think are the 3 greatest opportunities or challenges for the Olathe economy in the next 10 years? How would you capitalize on them?
So the global economy is challenging us right now. Huge growth is challenging us. Outdated infrastructure is challenging us. Here in the Midwest, the cost of living is good, so it offers us some resilience from global challenges. If we can further strengthen our position here at home, we can get stronger. And we can do this by supporting local businesses. Olathe can grow more self-sufficient by helping our local small businesses thrive. Create more opportunities for small business by expanding existing programs and removing barriers. Can do this, and we'll keep dollars in our community. Addressing attainable housing issues, if we plan better now so that seniors, first-time homebuyers, and families like mine all have options to stay near family and be with their community, if at least better quality of life. And then improving our roads and sidewalks, it connects us together and expands our economy. The I-35 and Santa Fe corridor is ripe for an economic win for Olathe. It's our front door to the world. Let's make a great impression and make Olathe proud. Thank you.
Marge?
So I think the greatest challenge for Olathe now and in the future is maintaining fiscal sustainability while managing our growth in order to meet the services at the level that our citizens have come to expect. And that means having, safety, which we do have, and our police and fire, they'll respond to your emergency in less than 4.5 minutes. We need to keep that, and that means we've got to make sure that we continue to have the budget to make sure that happens. All of this we need to do with it while we ensure Olathe is a vibrant community that is affordable. So once again, we all know that the challenges throughout the United States, it's not just Olathe, it's about fiscal sustainability for a city and then affordable housing. How do you make all of that come together? There's ways in which to do that, and I've mentioned some already. The city of Olathe is unique in some ways, and because we have old and new. We are a city of 160 years old, and then we have all this new growth. And so we need to be able to maintain our infrastructure, the streets, the sidewalks, water system. And those are our challenges. It is going to take fiscal sustainability to make that continue to happen.
Well, thank you both for the answers to the questions. And now we'll turn to closing statements, and you will each have 2 minutes to present these closing statements. Please be sure to highlight what distinguishes you from your opponent and makes you the best suited to serve. And we will start with Marge.
Thank you. Well, hopefully through this forum, I've provided a little bit of insight about who I am, as well as my performance here to date as a city council member. On the city council, I brought leadership, vision, experience, and importantly, proven results. My approach is to listen to citizens, gather the facts, collaborate with others, and then work tirelessly to get things done. As a result, we have a city that is nationally recognized as one of the best places in which to live. Olathe continues to earn those national recognitions for quality of life, for safety, having world-class parks and libraries, and a vibrant economy. But we're not finished. We have so much potential that is untapped, and together we can tap that potential. There's many exciting projects underway that require continued tenacity, and I want to make sure that we can bring them to fruition. I would ask you, if you want to learn more about me, go to my website at vote, VOGT, 4 Olathe.com to learn more about my candidacy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Kevin, your closing statement?
First, I want to thank the Chamber for hosting, and I want to thank my opponent, Marge. She's given decades of service to this community, and Olathe is better because of her dedication. That said, I believe Olathe is ready for fresh perspective. Our challenges over the next 10, 20, 30 years will be different than the ones we've faced in the last 10, 20, 30 years. Housing is less attainable right now. Our small businesses could use more support. And our residents are asking us to deliver infrastructure more efficiently. I bring a new lens with gratitude for the past, but focused on the future. I will show up. I will listen. I will work to make sure Olathe remains a place where people of all ages can thrive and find opportunity and community in Olathe. I'm running because I love Olathe, and I'm ready to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you so very much to both of you. This concludes our Olathe City Council Ward 4 Candidate Forum. Thank you again, candidates, for participating in today's program. On behalf of the Olathe Chamber of Commerce and the Johnson County Public Policy Council, thank you to everyone for taking advantage of this important opportunity to learn about the candidates. For more information about candidates, videos of these and other candidate forums, and advanced voting details, visit www.votejoco.com, and please share this voter resource with your colleagues, your family, and your friends. Again, On behalf of the Olathe Chamber, thank you for participating in this candidate forum. We wish you the best of luck in your campaign.
That's here.
Thank you.